Good morning! It's Tuesday, it's June 26th, and I'm sitting here in the parking lot of the seminary, and I'm about to start the day's rehearsals. There have just been a couple things that happened that I wanted to do like a quick little supplementary video. First off, this seminar has been amazing. This doesn't have so much to do with prison, I gotta warn you, this video, but it's going to be short. So hang in there if you have any kind of interest in sacred music at all. The conductor is from the Moscow Conservatory, and I knew that he didn't speak fluent English. I didn't realize he speaks no English at all. So a couple days ago, I guess, I got an email from the coordinator here in the U.S. Saying that if we wanted to ask the maestro any questions about church music, about conducting, about singing chorally in the Orthodox tradition, that we would have to submit them in writing beforehand. And I thought, geez, this guy sounds like a Nazi. That's not why. It's because he doesn't speak English. So he is doing this rehearsal and he's training other conductors. This is a conducting masterclass. So he's got these student conductors and he's also got us, the choir. And he's trying to, teach all of us at once. But he's doing it in Russian. And I don't speak any Russian at all. So thankfully he has a translator with him. And it takes a lot of energy to listen to that, because you've got the Russian, blah, 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 and then she translates it. And then if somebody asks a question, she has to translate it to him. So it's this back and forth, and it's exhausting mentally. I'm not complaining, though. But it's just a little bit different than anything else I've ever experienced before. But this guy's a genius. Listen to this. This is just from some of his material that he handed out last night. My bishop would say, by not attempting to sing sacred music with soul, that I was merely deceiving myself. The movement toward spiritual singing lies through the soulful performance of church music, that which is sung with one's whole heart. And then regarding tempi, which are, musical speeds, tempi that are excessively fast create an impression of worldliness and vanity, while those that are excessively slow cause the worshiper simply to lose the meaning of the words, because the movement from syllable to syllable and from one word to the next is too slow. They simply lose the thought. One more. For some reason, we have a negative attitude towards buildings that lack form, while our attitude is much more forgiving towards a musical performance that lacks due consideration of form. This is inadmissible in church music. I like this guy. He's serious business. I love it. That, however, is actually not the real reason for this video, or I should say it's not the total reason for this video. So, last night we had this huge rehearsal. It was from like 7 to 10. Basically, there were these giant thunderstorms all along the the East Coast, like from Georgia up to here. So a lot of the singers that were coming in from around the country and around the world, they were 3-4 hours late because of the thunderstorms. You can't fly a plane through a thunderstorm. So, of course, the maestro had to push rehearsal back. Understandable. So we got out somewhere between 10 and 10:30 at night. And this is a small campus. I walked to my car, and as I was trying to find my way from the rehearsal building parking lot to the dorm parking lot, something didn't feel right in my car. It wasn't handling properly. And my car is kind of old. It's got almost 160,000 miles on it. And actually, it's not old. 7 years old. But it's been driven a lot. But I can't afford a new one right now. So something is just feeling wrong with this car. And finally, I kind of get it up the last hill to where our dormitory is. I park it and I go outside, and sure enough, I've got a flat tire, and it's like totally flat. So I call my husband. I wake him up. He's cranky because I've got poor cell phone reception. So he thinks I'm trying to like talk over him, and I'm not, and I just can't hear him. And then I have to call AAA, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what if this is going to be, what if I bent the rim, or if I bent the actual wheel, not just the tire, like this is going to be crazy, I can't afford this, whatever. So isn't it interesting how, when you get over one of your little humps, which for me is social anxiety, And, you know, I've come here, which was difficult for me to do, but I'm so glad I did. I'm just saying, like, I was very nervous about this. You know, and it's a chance to have fellowship with other Orthodox Christians, and not only Orthodox, but those who are also incredible musicians. And all of a sudden, it's like Satan is like, no, wait, I'm gonna screw you up with an expensive car repair, and, you know, your husband's gonna be mad at you, and blah, blah, blah. And I was so pleased that God told me about that. You know, that still small voice. I was just so grateful that as I was unpacking my things in the dorm room before I called AAA, you know, he just said, through my guardian angel, I guess, that he just said, you know what, just keep calm, carry on. Keep calm, carry on. Because even if you have to buy a new car, Christ is still risen. Right? Even if you're having a fight with your husband, Christ is still risen. You made it here safely. You saw friends that you haven't seen in years. You're singing this glorious music to the glory of God. Christ is still risen. Your car will be okay. And it was. Actually, I didn't have to pay a thing. I felt so bad for the guy who was trying to help me change the tire, because my husband said, just change the tire. Well, I've never changed a tire before. And I know how to do it. I've seen other people do it. I can follow directions, but there are no parking lights here. It's really bright out right now, but there are no big fluorescent lights. And I said, Andrew, I'm not going to change a tire for the first time in a dress, in the dark, on a hill, with no light. So the AAA guy came out, and then I was missing a lock for the lug nuts, and, you know, we had to, like, look all around underneath the seats. Finally, we found it. Anyway, you don't care about the particulars. It doesn't matter. The point is, we've got to keep our eyes open. We've got to say, okay, when these things happen where we're tempted to fight with people, tempted to be short with the people that we love the most because we feel like there's a safe target for our frustration, we've got to say, okay, now wait a minute. Who is organizing this? Who is trying to ruin your day, or your week, or your month, or your year? So, glory to God, I've got the donut on the car now, and I don't really have to drive anywhere until Friday. So I just wanted to mention that, because there are always going to be these little attacks like this. And thank God this was annoying but not dangerous. I didn't blow a tire on the thruway, thank God. But nothing is an accident. Everything has a reason. Everything has a spiritual significance to it. So anyway, I've got to go. I'm seeing people, like, walking around behind the car, so I got to drive over to the auditorium area. But God be with you, and I will let you know how today goes. Okay, bye.